Am I the a-hole for not moving out of the property that my parents gave me so that my golden child sister and her husband and kid could move in? My 34 female sister, 31 female, was the first among 4 siblings to have a kid, 5 female. My niece is incredibly spoiled by my sister, our parents, and extended family, and my parents bend over backwards for my sister's request. Like one time, they canceled their anniversary trip because my sister asked to babysit while she goes on a girls' weekend. This spring, my boyfriend and my rock in life passed away. At the same time, I lost my job. I had a lot going on, so I moved back to my hometown. My parents own a rural property that they used to rent out. The property has been empty for a while now and it's fairly run down. My parents invited me to stay there rent-free and told me that it was my home for as long as I needed. I invested a lot of my time and money into getting this house fixed up. I also made a friend from Ukraine, Ola. She's a refugee with a young daughter. Ola is struggling and I invited her to stay with me for a couple of months while she gets back on her feet. It's honestly a win-win because I could use the company as well. She was very thankful but hasn't made a firm response yet because she's trying to make things work independently. My parents had no issues with this. Until recent drama. My brother-in-law had been working for a shady company who skirted regulations for profit. The law ended up catching up with the owner who folded the company and then just left the country. Long story short, a few other things went down and my sister's family abruptly moved to our hometown, moving in with my parents. Almost immediately, my parents and sister approached me to swap. They said I should move into our parents' house and my sister and her family should take my place. They said the house I lived in was too large for one person and that it would be so much better for my niece to live on a beautiful property in nature. Honestly, I didn't understand. My parents have 2 guest rooms. My sister and brother-in-law and their kid have their own bedrooms. I sure didn't at 5. My brother-in-law is still loaded from his old job and could easily get a place too. But instead, they decided to buy a flashy car. When I mentioned my work on the property, it was dismissed. When I reminded them about Ola, my parents were outraged that I was still intent on helping someone else and their child and not my own sister and niece. They kept making it out like my sister's situation was nearly as bad as Ola's. Eventually, it came down to my parents saying, "You're living on our property and you'll do as we want." I said, "Well, you gave it to me and said that this was my house too, and you said it was my home for as long as I needed. But if we're gonna talk in property terms and not family terms, evict me then." My parents said they're not gonna evict me, but I do receive daily calls and messages from them and extended family guilt-tripping me and calling me an a-hole for not giving up the more comfortable space to my sister, who is in such a difficult situation and has a poor little child. My brothers are the only ones on my side, but since they're young men in college, their opinions mean nothing to my family. At this point, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills, so am I the a-hole? Okay guys, so this story is just absolutely ridiculous. I feel really bad for OP and her loss, and honestly, I think that her parents are pieces of crap for trying to take the house back. That being said, it is their house, so OP needs to leave. She's a grown woman, and I mean, she's living there rent-free, so it's not like she's paying to live there. Now, the parents do seem quite cold in my opinion, because I get that the sister is going through stuff too, but that is no reason to harass their daughter who recently lost the love of her life. Both of the daughters are having a rough time right now, but they gave OP the house first. I get why they would ask her if she would want to give the house to her sister and swap, but when she said no, they should have just dropped it. That's just my opinion. Also, OP did mention that the sister and her family have a lot of money saved up and they decided to buy a flashy car. So to me, it sounds like they're just being irresponsible and the parents are enabling them. So for this one, the Reddit community ended up saying that everyone sucks here. Their reason for saying that is they were saying that OP should have just left because it's not her house in the first place and she needs to get over it. But it seems like the Reddit community is so harsh sometimes to me. It just feels like they don't have any compassion. She just lost the love of her life and her job. And I mean, she's trying to build this house up and make a future for herself. Her parents are messed up for trying to harass her into leaving the house. So yeah, OP could be the bigger person and just move out, but I can't blame her for telling them to evict her though. She's human and she has the right to be a bit offended that her parents are choosing her sister over her. But that's just my 2 cents. So you guys let me know who you think is wrong in this messy situation. Also, you have to let me know what you think about my newest moon and star shelf. So for this one, the customer wanted light blue, dark blue, and black with a yellow star. And they wanted to add the colorful lights. And guys, I love these moon and star shelves. They're so much fun to make, but they suck to demold. Like, I absolutely hate demolding these. It's so hard. So anyways, guys, let me know what you think about the final results in the comments. And thank you guys so much for always showing up, for giving me support. It makes my day. You guys have no idea. So thank you for being here. And guys, don't forget, if you're interested in any of the products that I use for my creations, check out my Linktree. The link is in my bio. All right, besties. Stay kind, stay amazing, and stay compassionate. And I promise you, you will be unstoppable. All right, guys. Peace.